to having a male friend or having kids or having family, and the instructor happened to just give me the flyer and introduce me to the class. I think what the program was intended to do was to get us to examine ourselves first and then offer ourselves to the we, which is another relationship, whether it's a man, your parents, your child. And I do have one daughter, and I am a foster mother, and I did use it within the context of the relationship with my child as well. But originally I went to learn about myself as I related to finding male friends or keeping relationships going. We as young women get our first lesson from our fathers. And I had a father that kind of lacked emotions and really never told me how beautiful I was as a child. Fit, for me, made us list standards I could compare them to my dad and what I was getting. So I was able to make standards that I want to have in a guy now. So now when I meet a guy, I list those standards, I hold them tight, I meditate on them, and I seem to be picking men who are a lot better for me and a lot healthier for me. I used to feel like within a relationship with a man, I had to give up the sex early to keep them. That was my mindset. It came from being sexually abused. My mindset was, if you want to get a guy and keep a guy, you had to sleep with him early on to give that first impression. Fit relationship caused me to look at another option, specifically called the 90-day rule. And I was able to see that if I waited before I had sex with a guy and took at least 90 days to get to know him, then I could decide whether it's worthy enough or we're worthy enough to take that step of sex after getting to know him. And if we weren't, I didn't give up my intimate self the way we do sometimes too quickly. The new me doesn't feel like I have to rush and give up sex, that I have to get a guy who cares about me, find a guy who's respectful, take sex off the table, and see if he's worthy of it, because our sex is very valuable. And for women, we see it differently than men. And Fit, for me, helped me dive into that issue. And it really did change my life. My instructor, Cynthia Wynn, asked us, how do we see ourselves? And so I had to break down characteristics of myself. I was vulnerable. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't have trust. I felt unworthy. I felt unloved. I felt misused and misguided. So the person you see here today is stronger because I now know that if I don't run off and give a guy sex early, thinking that that's going to keep him, I'm okay with holding him accountable to getting to know me, holding him accountable to bringing things to the table, holding him accountable for not allowing him to use me or abuse me for not just sex but money. I stand firm and tell a guy now, hey, let's get to know each other. But most definitely, it helped me to understand that I'm worthy of a good relationship